Welcome back to High School Backups Podcast. My name is Jake. I am here with Kyle, and today we are going to be discussing the regular season NHL awards. More specifically, we're going to start with the Selkie, work our way towards both MVP awards. Kyle, I'm going to let you take it away.
Oh boy, this season has been interesting to say the least. I have been very wrong on some teams, but I've been very right on others. Just so we are all on the same page, this is just going to be my predictions for who I think the winners of each award will be. I'm not talking about playoff awards, and I'm not going to be talking about the best GM award. Who really cares about that award? Let's be
Who
honest.
cares
That
who the
doesn't
best GM
matter.
is? It's obviously the guy who runs the Bruins organization anyway. But
False. But
it's
that's
not false. It
besides
is
the.
absolutely whoever runs the Boston Bruins organization.
But that is besides the fact. The Selke Trophy is the best defensive forward, and I don't think it's gonna be close. They should honestly rename this award after him. If they don't, I think that's stupid. It's gonna be Patrice Bergeron. He is absolutely insane when it comes to
Six-time
being.
winner.
Yeah, it's gonna be seven-time winner in a
No, I
second.
think this will be his sixth. This will be his
Will it?
sixth.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he's won it 5 times.
He's phenomenal at what he does. His back checking is insane. His ability to be able to read defenses is insane. And he's doing it as a forward, which is quite as impressive. I do think the runner-up, who has been just as good as Patrice Bergeron has been defensively this year, is going to be Nico Hischier. He has come a long way as captain of the Devils, and he is leading that team not necessarily from the offensive side, but definitely carrying them from the defensive side. And my honorable mention for the best defensive forward is Elias Pettersson, who I never really thought would actually be a potential to win this award because he has such a breakout offensive potential. But he really stood out with his two-way game this year. The Jack Adams Award, which
I
is
also endorsed the Patrice Bergeron for the Selke
oh yeah, my
Award.
bad.
I think that's absolutely. I think
Uh,
that's absolutely correct. I'm not gonna lie to you.
how can it not be
I
Patrice
think it's absolutely
Bergeron?
correct.
Honestly, how can it not be? Um, for the Jack Adams Award, I hate this so much because, man, was I totally wrong about this guy. Jack Adams Award has to go to Jim Montgomery, who has led the Bruins to beating the all-time record in wins and points this season.
I
And
concur.
not to mention, this is his first year as the coach of the Bruins. So, yeah, if it's not him, Boston prepare to riot.
I'm just gonna concur. It should be Jim Montgomery. The rest of the names don't matter. It doesn't matter.
It does matter because they're at least gonna be nominated. Okay? Like they're just gonna be there as the nominees. They
Oh
all know they're
man.
not winning.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but the runner-up, I think, is going to be Lindy Ruff, who head coach of the New Jersey Devils. Um, definitely, if Jim Montgomery and the Bruins were not having as good of a season as they are, Lindy Ruff would be the winner. He completely turns that team from a disaster to playoff caliber and even a slight Stanley Cup favorite. Very slight potential with the Devils. They are going to have a tough road ahead in the playoffs, but Lindy Ruff is definitely a part of the reason of their success. And my honorable mention is Rick Bonus of the Winnipeg Jets. Also a first year head coach of that organization. Winnipeg was another one of those teams that I did not think would make the playoffs. That's actually all three of these head coaches were teams that I did not think would make the playoffs. Um, that
Yeah.
that is
Yeah, we just had a conversation about that, and I can't wait to talk to you about that on Tuesday, even though this video is definitely coming out after that video, after the live stream on Tuesday.
Do I even want to know?
No,
I need
no,
to be
no.
prepared.
I just need to be vindicated for the fact that earlier in the season, or earlier, I think it was October or November, that we released a video about like how the NHL season would go based on the first 2 months. And I was right about all three of these teams, I believe. And you were wrong about all three of these teams, I believe.
I was
I need to
yeah,
feel some vindication.
I was wrong from the get-go about all three of these teams, and that's fine.
I think the Devils and the Jets are more excusable. I think the Devils and the Jets are more excusable.
Just for people watching this video who may not have watched other episodes, the reason I did not think the Bruins would make the playoffs is because I didn't think they'd be able to recover from their early season injuries. And also, I didn't think Linus Olmark would decide to stand on his fucking head and have a career year this year either. How could I have seen that coming?
You should have watched practice. We talking about practice.
Dude, his practice didn't show
I'm
he
fucking
had
kidding.
this.
I'm fucking kidding.
I honestly didn't think the Bruins would be able to recover from the early season injuries. I thought they would just barely be at 500 and they wouldn't be able to catch up, was my legitimate thinking. Also, they have a first-year head coach. How was I supposed to know he was going to go ahead and win the Best Coach of the Year award? I thought I wasn't that far off. I wouldn't have been that surprised if they snuck into the playoffs as a wild card. Did not see what. I don't think anyone.
Okay, I don't think anybody expected them to be what actually is undisputably the best hockey team to ever be assembled. Points and wins wise, by the way, not like talent.
I was like
points and wins wise, like they have had the greatest regular season of any team in NHL history. I don't think anybody would have predicted that.
Correct. How can you predict that? Like,
you don't. You don't
predict that. But congrats, Jim Montgomery. You should win this award. If you don't, Boston, be prepared to riot. Like how? Like it's honestly. Moving on to the Calder Trophy winner, which is the league's best rookie. That is definitely going to go out to Matty Beniers of the Seattle Kraken. I was very upset when he wasn't chosen first overall a couple years ago, when he was instead selected second. But he has come a long way into leading the Kraken to their first ever playoff appearance. Second, as the runner-up, I have Stuart Skinner, who is doing pretty well for the Edmonton Oilers as their goalie right now. He has a insane goals against average, which I just didn't think could happen. Even though he hasn't started a lot of games, he has come. He has come in clutch for that team when needed to. And my runner-up for the award is going to be Matthias Macchielli.
Your honorable mention.
My honorable mention. My bad.
You're good. You're good. You said runner-up.
Oh yeah, no. My honorable mention. Matthias Macchielli of the Arizona Coyotes. He has done insane. He's the Coyotes should not be good. Not that they were good, but they were better than I think. Better than what anyone expected them to be. Like they should have ran away with the first overall draft pick. And they didn't. They're like they have like the fifth best odds for that right now.
You're not going to find any disagreement from me on this one. I do think Stuart Skinner should get a little bit, probably more credit than we're giving him. I know that he didn't play as many games as Matty Beniers, especially, being in net. But Stuart Skinner's been incredible. Just going to put that out there. So I think this is a closer second for me than what anybody else might have. But you can move on.
A 2.75 goals against average for a rookie goaltender
Insane.
is pretty good. I don't want to discredit him by any means.
No, you're not. You're not. I'm giving him the credit. I just want to give him the credit he deserves. He's been incredible.
That is absolutely insane. Also, a .914 save percentage.
That's also nuts.
Also pretty good for a rookie goalie. That's good for
That's good for a vet.
Let alone a rookie. I'm pretty sure that's on par with what Igor's save percentage is.
That doesn't surprise me.
It's slightly worse. Igor's save percentage is .916. So
and Igor's on a down year, but you'll take Igor on a down year any day of the week.
If you don't take Igor is definitely
unless you're telling me that I get Linus Ullmark, then I'm taking Ullmark.
Dude, can't even do this.
What? That's not even a hot take right now. If I can get Ullmark right now, or
hot take,
I'm taking Ullmark right now.
Anyway. Yeah. And moving on to the Norris Trophy winner, which is the league's best defenseman. This has been controversial this year, mostly because of who the winner will undoubtedly be is having an insane offensive year. As of late, The defensive award has gone to defensemen who have had insane offensive numbers. And then there's been talk amongst fans that they should include a second award for defensemen, one for their offensive defenseman category and one for just the defensive defenseman. Kind of what there already exists for forwards, how they is the best defensive forward and then best offensive forward. Um, but as it stands right now, there was still only one defenseman award, and it will go to Eric Carlson. How can it not? He is the only defenseman to get above 100 points this season. He is also the first. He is the first defenseman to crack the 100-point mark since the 90s.
Which I was surprised about because I genuinely thought Backstrom did it. Or, yeah.
Not Lindstrom, you mean?
Yeah, Lindstrom. Sorry, my bad. Nicholas Lindstrom.
Sorry.
I thought he did it.
Which
he didn't, but I thought he did.
He did it. But it was insane because he had some of the best years of a defenseman with the
like ever. Like
yeah, so that's insane. I do think the runner-up may surprise a couple people because he didn't have that insane of an offensive year. He had a great offensive year, getting 76 points, which is insane for a defenseman, but he didn't light the lamp up with goals. And my runner-up is Quinn Hughes. Vancouver did have a little bit of a down year. Quinn Hughes is definitely someone that has stood out amongst defensemen as of late. But he isn't quite what Eric Carlson is, so unfortunately won't win. And then my honorable mention goes to Josh Morrissey, who he has been incredible with goals this year. He has 16 goals. Same amount of points as Quinn Hughes at 76, but with the more goals, I do think he'll be the honorable mention. Just his defensive stats are a little bit less than.
You're not gonna hear a disagreement from me. I just wish they had a defensive defenseman award because I think there's a lot of guys on here who play incredible defense that they're just not getting recognized for it. So you're not gonna hear a disagreement, but also there's some disappointment in my voice.
I agree. I am one of those people that think there should be an offensive defenseman award because you shouldn't discredit what these defensemen are doing. Like, these guys are insane with what their numbers they're putting up. But then you're just kind of leaving out the whole position entirely because the whole position is to play defense.
Literally, like your entire job is to, like, it's not to put up points. I mean, it's great if you do that on the back end, but also,
right.
Like, there are guys who essentially play the best defense in the league who aren't going to get recognized for this award, and that kind of sucks.
Agreed. I agree. Like even like a couple Bruins players like
Hampus
should be
Lindholm.
Recognized.
Hampus
Lindholm especially should be recognized. Adam Fox of the Rangers should be recognized. Adam Fox did win this award a couple years ago, when we had the COVID shortened season.
Mm-hmm.
He won the award. So it has become a offensive defenseman award, and that's not really what fans kind of want it to be. We need like a separate award, which I hope they listen to the fans and do.
I mean, I think at this point it would only make sense because if you're just giving it, like, Eric Carlson is not the best defenseman in the league.
No,
he's great. Don't get it twisted. But when it comes to actually playing defense, which is what defensemen are supposed to do, he's not the best defender. And when I hear, league's best defenseman, I'm thinking defense. Like, I'm thinking defense. So.
It's crazy because a couple of years ago, Eric Carlson would have been the best defenseman in the league. Like, when he was on Ottawa right before he was traded to San Jose, he was the best defenseman in the league. Even with his offensive talent, like, he's won this. I'm pretty sure he's won this award before, to be honest. Now I'm second guessing myself.
Just make sure real quick. Who cares?
Yeah, let me quick Google search. He did win it in 2015. That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Again, when he was one of he literally was the best defenseman in the league.
And it's no knock to Carlson because he's earned the award. He's the first defenseman with over 100 points. Like, cool. If that's what got you, that's what got you. But there are a couple names on here that I'm like, Hampus Lindholm should be considered. Adam Fox should be considered. There are a couple guys across the league where I'm like, the fact that their names aren't up here kind of suck.
Yeah, I agree. I 100% agree.
Now that we've run off on my tangent.
Now we're going to move on to the Vezina Trophy. Winner. This should be pretty self-explanatory, but I do kind of want to talk about the runner-up and honorable mention a little bit more than the winner,
Yeah,
because the winner should be a slam dunk. If it's not him, again, Boston prepare to riot.
I'm down. Let's go. No, not really. Don't do
Um,
that. Don't do that.
we are not endorsing
Do
that by
not
any
do
means, to
that.
be honest. The winner is going to be no doubt Linus Olmark.
That's a fact.
He's having the best year of his career. He's having the best year of any goalie in recent history. Like, he has been absolutely phenomenal. He has a goals against average under 2. I can't
It's
even
fucking
remember.
nuts.
I can't remember when this has happened before. Like, it may have happened recently. Like, I could just be blowing my mind and forgetting it. But like, he has been absolutely phenomenal. But again, I didn't want to talk about him because he's more of a slam dunk. I want to talk about who I think the runner-up and honorable mention will be. I think the runner-up is going to go to Connor Hellebuck, and the reason I am giving it to him over the honorable mention is only because of the save percentage. Connor Hellebuck has a .92 save percentage, which is slightly better than the honorable mention. Connor Hellebuck's also played more games and has faced more shots than who I think will be the runner-up in Ilya Sorokin. And I went back and forth on these two, on who I was going to give as the runner-up and who I was going to give as the honorable mention. Like, I went back and forth for like good 10 minutes. I had it like at Ilya Sorokin as the runner-up, and then I was like, no. Then I put Connor Hellebuck there, and then I went back to Ilya Sorokin. Like, I went back and forth. Like, it was tough for me. But Ilya Sorokin, I think, benefited a little bit more from top defensive forwards than Connor Hellebuck did. And Connor Hellebuck also stood on his head. He's having a rebound year, bringing the Jets back to the playoffs.
To your point, the last time I can remember someone getting even close to under 2 was Tim Thomas in 2010, 2011, and it was exactly 2 goals a game.
That's insane.
Like, exactly 2. Like, that's the last time I remember it. Obviously, as someone who was just more of a Bruins fan than a general hockey fan, I would remember that, but I'm not sure the last time it's happened other than that.
Let me see what the. Igor had an insane year last year.
I don't think he was under 2, though.
No, I don't think so either. But that's what I'm. That's why I just want to check.
And also, if you see me wincing, I messed up my ankle, and it hurts a lot, so.
Hello. Stats want to work today? That would be nice. Igor had 2.07, so not under 2.
So let me check the seasons here.
In the COVID shortened season, there were a couple goalies under 2, but
I'm not going to count that.
that was a shortened season. 2019 over 2. 2018 over 2.
I believe. Is this just
2017 over 2. Yeah, so like I just went back 5 years and they were all over 2 with the exception to the COVID shortened season, which the average goalie only played 30 games in that year. So it's a little bit hard to count that when we're talking the only like average goalie played 20 to 30 games that year when average goalie this year is playing 45 to 55.
That's a fact.
Like, they're playing 10 to 15 more games right now. Like, that is hard to count the COVID shortened season.
No, it's a fact.
So, like, I'm not discrediting those goalies. That's impressive to get under 2, but when we're looking at the grand scheme of things right now, Linus Olmark to be not just barely under 2, but well under 2 is impressive.
Oh, that's
but
a fact.
Connor Hellebuck and Ilya Sorokin, I went back and forth on them for a while.
For the record, I believe the last time that someone averaged under 2 goals a game was Brian Elliott in 2011, 2012. He had 1.56 goals against, but he only played 38 games.
Brian Elliott. Wait, what year?
2011, 2012?
Was that when he was on the Blues?
Maybe. Let me check.
Brian Elliott.
2011, 2012, he was on Ottawa.
He was on the Senators. Those before St. Louis years.
Uh,
Brian Elliott.
20. Oh no, he was on the Blues. It was his first year on the Blues that year. He actually did it twice. He did it in 13-14 with 1.96 with 53 games. So it was 13-14. My bad.
Brian Elliott, Flyers legend. He used to be so good. Oh, Brian Elliott, he's so underrated. But anyway, Linus Ullmark wins the Vezina Trophy. Now to the MVP awards. I'm gonna go with the Ted Lindsay MVP first because that is voted by the players. The winner is gonna be pretty obvious. Connor McDavid will win the Ted Lindsay Award. Shouldn't be any doubt in my mind. Neither should the runner-up. Because the runner-up, if it wasn't for what Connor McDavid did, would have won this award any other year. David Pastrnak clearly is
Give
the
me
runner-up.
pasta first. Pasta should
Stop
win
it. Stop it.
I know.
Stop it.
I'm just messing with you. I'm messing with you. Don't worry about it.
Stop.
Don't worry about it. I'm messing with you.
My God. Connor McDavid had 40 more points. Stop.
Best team, best player.
Yeah, Connor McDavid is the best
No,
player.
Best team first. That's the first criteria.
Oh, Lord.
It's a joke. It's a joke. It's a joke. Connor McDavid should win the MVP. It's not even close. It's not even close.
The reason I'm bringing up the Ted Lindsay before the Hart is because my honorable mentions are different. For the Ted Lindsay, I think Nathan McKinnon will be the honorable mention. I think he will be the third place finisher amongst the players. Whereas the Hart Trophy winner, Connor McDavid will win. David Pastrnak will be the runner-up, but Leon Draisaitl will be the honorable mention there.
Why the difference? Is it because Draisaitl probably gets more love from the press, whereas because he's not the number one, McKinnon will get more love from players?
Bingo.
Fair enough.
That's pretty much it. Leon Draisaitl pretty much gets carried by Connor McDavid.
Whoa!
He does. I'm sorry. I love Leon. Don't get me wrong, but he plays with the best player in the world. Like, I'm not discrediting because he's obviously like scoring goals. And
That seems a little disingenuous, Kyle.
He is doing everything in his own right, but he plays with the best player in the world. Like, come
Listen,
on.
I get it, but it doesn't discredit the fact that he's still incredible.
Yes, I agree. He is still incredible, which is why he's third in my Hart Trophy. Like,
All
he's
right,
third
all right.
place. Again, but David Pastrnak, if this wasn't for any other year other than Connor McDavid, I do think he would win this award. Because he literally finished 3 goals behind Connor McDavid.
Yeah, and Connor McDavid just has so many more assists. It's not even funny.
Yes, correct.
But on the night, Kyle, do you have anything left?
I'm disappointed. I couldn't put in my heart to put any Rangers on here. It just breaks my heart that I.
Well, that's
do it.
because they suck. No, I'm kidding.
Oh,
You know
stop
I'm kidding.
it. We'll win the playoffs. That's what matters.
No, you won't. I'm sorry. Dude, the East is a slog. The East is a fucking slog. Oh, the West is going to be so much. I wish the Bruins were in the West. This would be so much. That was so nice. Be careful what you wish for, because then you have to run into Connor McDavid. But
Yes, exactly.
But Kyle, if you got nothing left on that note, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe, hit the bell for the notifications, leave a comment, think about what Kyle's thoughts are, what are your thoughts on Kyle's thoughts, and make sure to go follow us on all of our social medias. We're High School Backups on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. TikTok has been kind of taken off, so go make sure to follow that. Make sure to go make sure to go follow us on Twitter. And on that note, hope you have a wonderful day. Peace.